Igor and Lucas had just arrived at the company and were late for a meeting. However, Igor is greeted by Angela, who claims to be a big fan of his, who has always dreamed of knowing him when she passes in front of the company. But he is not very nice and suggests that she try to talk to him another time. The woman explains that she just needs to talk to him quickly. Angela sells cosmetics and thinks that entering into a partnership with a renowned player like him can boost her small business and, of course, also bring benefits to Igor's company. The businessman, though, scoffs at Angela's proposal. He says it doesn't make sense for his company to bet on the product of someone like her, but she believes in her product and her dream. Despite Igor's negative response, she offers a sample of the hair cream so praised by everyone who has used it. The man's arrogance is despicable. He holds Angela's sample in contempt and refuses to accept a second-rate product into his company. His assistant, Lucas, on the other hand, is kind and assures her that he will use Angela's product. He reassures the humiliated woman and claims to believe that she will one day be recognized for her products. The assistant explains that his boss is like this because he is late for a meeting, but has no doubt that Angela will still be a success in the industry, so he says goodbye and wishes her good sales. Hours later, Igor was sending an email and his assistant arrives at the office with a report that brings fantastic news. The company's sales have grown 6 times. The businessman celebrates this important company milestone and immediately decides on a controversial change: to raise the prices of the products. Lucas points out that the customer's main complaint is the high price, but he doesn't care. According to him, good things are expensive and there is no question about it. About the employees, he suggests that the number doubles because he thinks it is important in this growth phase that production keeps up with demand. Do you think the company owner's demands will work? They seem very optimistic, don't you think? On the street, Angela talks to herself about the difficulties of selling her products door to door. She begs God for a miracle to happen in her life so that things will change radically. In the meantime, she must continue to sell in people's homes, always walking a lot during the day. Angela has social media and it is through social media that customers, mostly women, request the products for her to bring to their houses. They are shampoos, creams and soaps produced by her at home alone. She accepts payment by cash, credit card and online bank transfer. It is a tiring but honorable routine that makes her believe that bringing her dream to reality is possible. 1 week later, this woman was in a park talking on her cell phone with another person on the line. She claims to be in dire need of a job, as her bills are all due. She is desperate and even fears that she will run out of food at the end of the days. Coincidence or not, Angela was sitting on the same bench and follows the conversation attentively. It seems that the unemployed woman is talking on her cell phone to a relative and begs this person to at least arrange a job interview, something that will allow her to work urgently. As soon as she hangs up the cell phone and lowers her head, the woman who is trying to grow her business introduces herself. She apologizes for overhearing the conversation about her being unemployed. Angela explains that she knows how hard things are these days and tells him that she is a salesperson for beauty products, with a focus on the female audience. She takes out of her purse a product. According to her, that shampoo is revolutionizing the cosmetics market. The small businesswoman believes that with the help of one more person, her products will sell much more, so she asks if the woman accepts to be her employee. She introduces herself and says her name is Camila. With her voice shaking, she doesn't think twice about accepting, because a job is exactly what she needs right now. The next day, Angela returns to the building where her idol Igor works. She asks the assistant Lucas to have at least 1 minute to talk to him, 2 minutes at most. The employee replies that today his boss is busy with many meetings. Angela already imagined it and doesn't want to get in the way, but having the chance to present her business to an entrepreneur like him can change her life, and she believes 100% in her product. In addition, she now has an employee to distribute and sell her products. Doing the partnership, therefore, is much more feasible with her dedicated to the commercial part. Lucas is convinced and asks her to wait just a few minutes while he goes to his boss to try to get a last-minute meeting with her. The dreamy woman thanks him and looks forward to now not being ignored. Igor is still in his office answering messages from clients and partners. Lucas asks him if he remembers the woman they met a few days ago, who claimed to be his friend, but the businessman doesn't remember. In his arrogance, He explains that many people stop him on the street to ask for a photo or autograph, so of course he doesn't remember who he is talking about. Lucas informs him that she is at the door of the building and would like to talk to him. Igor replies that if he stops working to talk to anyone who shows up, he won't get anything done. Speaking to himself, the arrogant man thinks he is too important to talk to those he considers inferior. Angela, poor woman, was waiting anxiously, but the news is not good, Lucas explains. Igor has a lot of demands, and even though Lucas insisted, he was unwilling to talk to her. Unfortunately, not even 1 minute can he dedicate to talk to the entrepreneur. In any case, she thanks Lucas for his usual helpfulness and says goodbye. The gentleman feels sorry that she is being treated so indifferently. 6 months later, Igor's company's phase of growth and optimism has come to an end. Stress has taken over his daily life. Now when Lucas enters his office with the business performance report, the numbers are not good at all. The turnover of the past months has dropped sharply. It was 4 times lower than last month and 8 times lower than 2 months ago. The boss tries to blame his employee to explain the company's decline. To him, these figures make no sense after he has increased productivity and the price of goods. In addition to his own problems, the assistant tells him that a new competitor has appeared in the same cosmetics business. It is a company that belongs to someone they know. Igor asks who this person is. Surprisingly, Lucas says it is that woman who knocked on the company's door a few months ago asking for an opportunity. So, as a way to try to confront this new rival, he suggests that his employee get her number and the recipe for this product she is selling more than water. A few minutes later, he talks to his manager at the bank. Igor explains that to pay the company's bills he will need a loan, but the money is denied. It seems to him that when his business was successful, the bank was a partner and was always willing to help, but now that he really needs it, credit is denied. The bank is only good when you have money, he comments ironically. Igor is not satisfied with the bank manager's explanation and orders him to do everything possible to get the loan. After hanging up the phone, Lucas returns to the room with the address of the competing company and a sample of the product that is the new fever among women in the city. Angela, now a successful businesswoman, owns 2 cosmetics factories. Igor thanks his assistant for the information and says that tomorrow he will try the product, which doesn't seem to be such a big deal from the packaging. Later, Igor is in the bathroom of his house about to try the product. The sample he has is exclusive for men. Although the packaging is not attractive, he recognizes that the smell and texture are incredible. The arrogant businessman decides to swallow his pride and bets that this product will save his company, but to do so he will have to negotiate. So he decides to go talk to Angela personally about it. An hour later, Igor knocks on Angela's office door. Quite a turn of events. Camila, that woman she met in the square, is her secretary and informs her that Igor Lacerda, from the cosmetics shop, is outside wanting to talk to her. Angela is surprised and allows him into her office, even though she has no idea what he wants. Shortly thereafter, the secretary asks her boss for permission to enter and makes the businessman comfortable to sit down. But before that, he greets Angela and asks if it would be possible to have some coffee, receiving a positive response from the secretary. Without further ado, he gets right to the point. Igor reveals that he has tested one of her products and in fact it is not bad. In his characteristic arrogance, he analyzes the packaging, which he says is bad, but that, thanks to him, her product can reach excellence, and that is why he came there to make a proposal. Igor insinuates that his factories have greater production capacity and his company has greater prestige in the market, so he asks her what she thinks of starting to produce that particular product with him, but she will only keep 20% of the profit. Angela plays dumb and asks him what he means by that. Without any shame, he replies that 80% of the profit will stay with him, since his machinery is the best and she knows it. Nevertheless, the businesswoman refuses to accept this agreement. After all, her company is taking off and reaching records never before achieved by competing companies. Last month, she reveals, sales have even started abroad, but she is grateful for his kindness in coming to her office. Pretending to have forgotten her name, the man asks her if she is sure to refuse his proposal. The successful businesswoman explains that she will refuse simply because she no longer needs his help. He insists and tries to convince her by offering only his name and prestige. She apologizes and repeats that she no longer needs his help. His insistence is a reflection of his own desperation, and the previously ignored woman knows it. He has nothing to offer but an abstract respectability in the market. She thanks him one last time and asks him to leave her office because she has calls to make. In an almost childish attitude, Igor rebels and, with a pointed finger, says he is sure that she will regret this decision, but it seems that he is the one who regrets it. "Write it down, you will still call me begging to work in my company," says the desperate man, not knowing how to prevent the ruin of his business. And you, what do you think about this story? Let us know what you think in the comments.